Sparkle Twins. Hello friends, welcome back to the Sparkle Twins. It's me, Mariam, and today our topic is about osmosis. Let's get started. First, before we start with the lesson, I want to tell you something. This thing is called a solute. What's a solute? It'll be really important to know that. A solute is just a fancy name that means salt. Yeah, today's video is going to be about salt and water. And fresh water. Okay, now let's get started. Have you ever wondered why a saltwater fish cannot go into fresh water? And only a saltwater fish can go into salt water? Yeah, I guess it's because it's salt related, but that's not the only reason. It's because of something called osmosis. Osmosis? I have something really important to tell you. Water always moves to an area with higher solute concentration. Okay, now let's start with an example. We'll take a box. We'll put a stick or something which the water can easily squeeze through to the other side. Okay, and now we're gonna fill both the areas with the same amount of water. Okay, let's call it side A, the one on the left side A, the one on the right side B. Okay, and now on side B, we'll add some salt. And now side B is really salty. Where will the water move to? Well, as I said, water moves to an area with a higher solute concentration. So the water would move to side A. Okay, now let's get real. We have an aquarium. Yep. And the aquarium is full with fresh water. Okay, the aquarium is filled with fresh water, and we decide to put a saltwater fish in the freshwater tank. Don't do this in real life, it's a bad idea. Okay, and now the saltwater fish, let's first compare. Which side has a higher amount of solutes, the freshwater tank or the saltwater fish? It's the saltwater fish. The saltwater fish contains some solutes in its cells. And if it's not, the cells will start swelling and will explode. And if it's not rescued, the fish can die. So if you want to put a fish in a tank, make sure it's a saltwater one, a saltwater fish in a saltwater tank. Okay, something fascinating I want to tell you. You see, have you ever got an ivy or saw an ivy? It looks like it is full with pure water, right? But it's certainly not. It would have been a disaster because of osmosis. Let me explain. Okay, so whenever you get an IV, they always inject it in the veins. So the veins contain lots of things, but mostly I want to focus on is red blood cells. Okay, first, which is the higher solute concentration? In the pure water that came from the IV into the veins, or the red blood cells, or whatever's inside the red blood cells? Well, it's the red blood cells. The red blood cells contain solutes. So the red blood cell will, once the water will go, it will first go inside the red blood cells, causing them to swell and explode. And exploding red blood cells are deadly. One last interesting thing. We know how a plant has its own roots, right? The roots are there to get the nutrients and water. How do they get the water? The water can't just fly in the roots. Well, it's because of osmosis. You see, the roots contain salts, contain some solutes in it. They contain solutes. And the water always moves to an area with higher solute concentration. So, well, the water will go into the roots and will moisturize the plant. Fact time. This is today's fact. Oh, it's a really big one. Okay, so did you know that the side that has a higher solute concentration is called hypertonic? The side that has a lower solute concentration is called hypotonic. And if both sides have an equal amount of solutes, then we call both the sides isotonic. One thing, we can't call something isotonic, hypertonic, or hypotonic if we're not comparing it with something else. That's the end of today's video. Make sure you liked and subscribed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!